We're gonna convene as a board of supervisors, on our property tax levy hearing. Do I have a motion do we have to open up,
Yes.
Yes,
to open the?
motion to open the public hearing on, Wright County property tax levy for the year ending, June 30th, 2027.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to open the public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right, public comments?
Yeah, I don't understand, in the little boxes here, I'd like for somebody to explain what we're looking at, because there's no dollar signs, no periods, no commas. And I'd just like a better understanding of it, because, it could be a telephone number, the way they have it written here.
Yeah.
And I find that confusing. I'm not a CPA, but I pay plenty of taxes, and I'd like to know what we're doing with it.
Mhm.
Do you want me to explain it, or do you
No,
wanna explain
No, I
it?
don't have a copy, so if you,
Oh,
you can
so-
explain your.
so last year, 2 years ago, when I sent them out, we do use an outside or external company that does the mailing.
Mhm.
So the auditor's office, the board of supervisors set the budget and the levy, and then, through the auditor's office, we key that information out. Then we send that file to an external, company that then pulls that information and creates those letters. By Iowa code, every county in the state of Iowa does it. Every county that does it with the same company that we used has that same issue. I think Franklin County, though, went through and put commas in. They-
Franklin County has commas and periods.
Pardon?
Franklin County does have commas and periods.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
It was, they manipulated it to make it
Okay.
to work. Of course, now, 2 years later, I just got back, so I haven't even seen my own yet. But what it essentially is saying that, if you have requesting, this is your levy rate, $10.70, what we were last year.
Yep.
And then if you generate, the exact same dollars, your property tax dollars, if you generate that exact, it would be like $10.34. But
Is that under current tax rate? Is that what we're looking at?
so, yeah, so the current tax rate is what we're working on this fiscal year that we're in right now. If you were to go through and generate the exact same tax dollars, revenues, that's your effective tax rate, which would go down because valuations went up, but valuations went up, so we can generate more dollars,
Mm-hmm.
which makes the levy rate go down.
Right,
Okay,
I don't know.
okay, so the valuations go up. If you were to ask for $100,000
Okay,
on valuation of so many dollars.
Okay.
100, so you get this much cash, 100,000. Now your valuation on your property goes way up, throughout the county, but you're still asking for that $100,000.
okay.
Your levy rate will go down because you have more valuation on your property.
Okay, what do you mean by levy rate? I'm
The
sorry,
levy-
but I'm
this
really
is
ignorant.
the levy rate, so this is your dollars per thousand. So, dollars per thousand of evaluation.
Okay,
So that's your levy rate.
okay, they should have that
Oh,
written on there for
these
levy
are-
like me,
Yeah, so
Really?
Mark Thompson is working his tail end off to try to get this cleaned up.
Yeah.
Because nobody understands it.
Yeah,
It
it
is-
is, I went to her and she, helped me, but I still walked out feeling pretty dumb.
It's a confusing letter.
It is,
But it shouldn't be,
it shouldn't be.
no.
And,
If you're paying to have this done, let's switch to
We-
somebody that makes it understandable to the common person.
We have battled that since the legislature first proposed this. And ISAC and, which is the Association of Iowa Counties, has fought against this legislation because this is a burden that is put on the taxpayers, because you are paying to have this generated,
Yes,
and it is nothing but confusion.
right. I mean, I feel like this must be a scam or something's
No.
hidden in here.
No,
You know,
don't,
that's,
don't feel
that's
alone.
where you could
No,
go.
And that's,
Don't
and that's
feel alone.
exactly it. When I was auditor, I contacted all 99
Mhm,
counties
mhm.
and said, what did this letter cost?
Yeah,
To do
okay.
for a mailing? And throughout the entire state of Iowa, it's over $1 million to mail, to do
See
that
what I
mailing.
mean?
With your paper, your
Yeah,
postage,
yeah.
you know.
And that's our money.
That's correct.
That's taxpayer dollars,
That's
That
our
is
money.
correct.
yeah.
And I don't like the way it's being spent.
And
Yeah.
And it
I-
causes mass confusion
Yeah.
every year,
Yeah.
every year.
So I can't believe that they haven't succumbed to your.
Believe it,
And
believe it.
that's the reason I did that, is to let legislature know, this is what it's costing us, and nobody understands it. There's some people that have written checks because they think it's a tax statement, they think they owe some money.
Well, then I'm not that dumb, but I mean.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give up my money.
No
Yes,
way, I'm gonna
no,
hold
but
on.
that's how,
Well, this has to
Time
change
consuming,
because, you know, the whole feeling of the whole country, the whole nation is. Somebody's trying to take my money and I don't understand why.
a total lack
And
of trust.
yes, a lack of trust, and this
Mhm.
doesn't help at all.
No. So this is what our levy rate per thousand is.
Okay,
And this is where we're going to propose the 1075. So it is going down just a little bit.
0.02401.
Yeah. So it's going from 1077.
Oh, I see now. Okay.
To $10.75.
okay, why is there two proposed tax rates here? I mean, there's two columns here, it says proposed tax rate.
I think,
Everybody in rural.
No, because that goes across
There's
there.
two different columns.
Yeah, two
One is
different.
proposed property tax, the other one's proposed tax rate.
yeah, so I think it's once,
Oh, yeah,
how many
you're right.
dollars are being generated? And it's hard to see because there's no dollar signs and commas and that.
Yeah.
And then the other one is the rate.
Yeah, I just object to this ridiculous, confusing thing.
And that's, that's.
I'm not
our-
blaming
our
you
state-
guys,
no,
I'm just
and we-
asking. the next
Sometimes
person.
we receive the message and we try to send it on down to the state, cause it's a state thing that's telling us. People need to know what what you're doing with their taxes. Do you know what we're doing with your taxes?
No, I'm still ignorant, still sitting here like,
Yeah,
I don't really get this.
so dollar for dollar, if your house, if your acreage stays the exact same valuation,
Okay,
nothing changes. The levy rate for the county is staying the same. So you would pay the same amount of taxes, ideally. But now you have not only the price of your acreage, the valuation of your acreage, but then the rollback changes. So even though your acreage might be 500,000, depending on what the rollback does, changes your valuations.
what is
It's-
rollback?
Rollback is, what's a good definition for rollback?
Percentage of how much you pay on the assessed value.
Okay,
So say you have like commercial properties, valued at $100,000, well, it's kind of changed, it's a certain percentage. So usually it's around 50. I think
Mhm.
this one went down, I think 44.
Mhm.
So even though you have, your property is valued at 100,000, you're not paying on 100,000 in taxes. You're paying on a certain percentage that's set by the state to help, inflation.
It is,
But
it's a discount, essentially. The state has discounted the value of your property by that percentage, 50% or
it used to be 56.
80% or,
Now it's 46 now.
they have rolled back the valuation. That's where that
okay.
term rollback comes in, but it's essentially a discount that the state is saying, we are gonna discount valuations by this much. And it varies on ag land and
Right.
Commercial.
commercial and residential.
Surely doesn't feel like it when you write the check.
No, it does not.
It does not.
No, and so when, after a lot of years of being an auditor and people say my taxes going up, I usually say yes, because there's so many variables I can't give a straight answer as to exactly what, because you might have put a new addition under your house. You may have, the rollbacks could have affected it a bunch. It could be that ag values, ag land values have changed because sales are so high. You know, there's, which is what the assessor does.
It's a 3 multiplication equation, so there's 3 numbers that go into it and they're all multiplied. So like she said, your levy rate could go down, but it depends on what the other 2 are doing. So that's why it's so hard to judge.
So we try to keep the levy rate very, we don't like to have a levy rate of like $10.77 and then have a big project and jump it up to $11. And then the next year we have plenty of money, so now we're gonna drop it to $10.50. We try to keep it slow increments. So we try to kind of budget, so there's not big, massive jumps.
And assessed values there are different factors that figure into it, but inflation figures into it too. And when the assessor is working, she looks at sales of like properties that have happened, and she uses that as a comparison. And that's not just in Wright County, that's statewide. So if property values go up and the levy rate stays the same, your amount of taxes that you are gonna pay do increase.
Depending on the rollback.
Depending on the rollback, yeah.
It is so hard. It is very
So
hard.
last year, the rollback was 47.43, so you were paying on 47% of your assessed value per each property. And now for this year, it's gonna be 44.53. So your levy rate will be going down a little, at least, but this is just for the county too, so it depends on what the city and the schools and everything else is doing.
Mhm,
And then, the rollback went down a little.
mhm.
Well, I thank you for these explanations. I'm not gonna say I get it totally, but it sounds like you're working on it and that, you know, you're being honest and forthright, but I just really object to this.
Yeah, we have proposed what would be valuable information to send out to taxpayers when they came up with this idea, but this is, and it comes from the Department of Management, I think, is who.
Mismanagement?
Yeah, yes. And surprisingly enough, Mark Thompson said that, he goes, I don't like what Minnesota does, but Minnesota sends a letter out and it's very clear as to what with their letters. Oh, you have property up there.
Well,
And
they're doing
and
something right up
they're
there.
doing, that would be, and he says that's about the one thing they are doing right, is their letters make sense. And I was like, well, then take that,
Let's do that.
let's do this. But,
Thanks, Betty.
yeah. They're nice.
I keep waiting for the confusing letter from here and I'm like, this is it.
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah, so,
As of today, then is the proposed tax rate, those 2 numbers, is that what's gonna be as of today,
yes,
proposed?
the 10.75.
Yeah, of course, okay.
Yep, yeah.
And then, and I know you maybe can't answer this or tough question. In the county budget, you got salaries. And then you've got, I'll say, office equipment and coverage, paper, et cetera. Which one uses the most dollars? Do you have any idea?
Salary.
Salary.
People always are
Benefits.
their highest cost.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Your most expensive and best assets.
So,
Thank you.
When I go up to, ask questions about how much my taxes are gonna be, I believe I go to your office. They send me over to the treasurer's office. I get the complete runaround. Nobody can ever answer any questions when I come up to ask questions about what's my taxes gonna do.
mhm.
I went up last summer and asked this question and I got the runaround. And then when I got my tax bill, it went up like $30 a parcel.
Yep.
Can I?
Sure,
answer that?
yep.
Okay. It's kind of a difficult process because I'm a year and a half ahead of the treasurer's office. It takes a year and a half between the time that I come up with your assessed value to when when your tax bill comes. So right now, I'm in 2026. So letters that will be going out for assessed values this week are for 2026. But this letter and what you guys will everybody will be paying taxes on in the fall will be from the 2025 assessed value. So, and so I'm in 2026 when so that there's the assessed value and then the rollback and then the levy rates. So the 2026 year, which I am now sending out the assessment notices, you won't get the rollback until the fall for 2026, October, November. And then the levy rates won't be decided until the fall of 27. That's how long of a process it takes for those three numbers. So I can give you my numbers and we can estimate off of levy rates, but, or the rollback. We never know what's gonna happen. We can estimate, but we always say, you know, just like this. So this is the third number of the three from 2025. So we can always do our best if you want an estimate. But yes, we never know what the cities and the schools and everybody's gonna do. It's very confusing. Believe me, we wish we could tell you what it would be.
I did go to the Eagle Grove School Board. Sole person that showed up because of the increase that it stated it was gonna have. And they stated to me that it's actually going down. And I says, you know, you guys, are charging me more taxes, for more kids. Now you're telling me the excuse or the reason is we got less kids. And it's stated here that the taxes were going up. Well, then I guess the state had went ahead and kicked some money back. And now they're actually going down just a hair for the overall school district. But they had like 5 or 6 increased enrollment last year. This year they've lost 60 kids.
Wow.
They
That's a
said that
big
at
deal.
the CDC or the
'Cause of
Chamber Bank.
immigration. So. And here in another week, 10 days, I'm going to Webster City and I'm gonna listen to what they got to say.
Good. That's, it is good to have,
I want to know what's going on.
yeah, community involved and to get the knowledge base. I can tell you, sitting in this chair, I thought that I was well informed when I first took this office. And I found out it was very humbling how little I did know. And it took me easily 3 years to truly understand the process behind the budgeting and the assessing and how all of that works together. So, none of you are alone, trust me.
No, because you don't work with it.
Yeah.
You know, I think, you know, the biggest thing to learn is the process of you purchase a house. So you record it at the recorder's office. The recorder communicates with the assessor's office to say, hey, this has changed hands. The assessor may look at values, purchase price, puts valuation on it. She does that for, you know, all 19,000 parcels in Wright County. That then file comes to the auditor's office, and then the auditor's office takes those valuations and starts calculating, okay, with 2%, because the county is allowed to increase tax revenues by 2%. There's a limit. There's a House File 718 that limits us to 2% growth. So even though your health insurance and salaries and everything may go up higher, we can only ask for 2% more dollars. So that's what the supervisors then work with, is on the valuations, putting the budget together. The auditor's office then takes all of those numbers, calculates and creates the tax statements. Treasurer gets it. The treasurer mails those statements out and receives the money. So we're kind of like, the auditor's office is kind of the middle person trying to calculate all of that. You know, when you said you went to the treasurer, they really don't have any idea but they just are collectors.
And they're not just collectors for the
Right.
county, they are the collectors for the community colleges, the school districts, the cities, everybody pays into the treasurer's office. It would be educational, we've always said, if when you went to the treasurer's office, you wrote a check to the Clarion School District, and you wrote a check to Wright County, and you wrote a check to the city, so that you truly understood what that division is and where those costs are coming from.
Kind of illuminating,
Yep.
isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
And I think there is more information on the tax statements now than there ever used to be.
yeah.
It used to be, this is what you owe, but at least now it has the breakdown, you know, this is your city, this is.
At the bottom, if you look at the very bottom portion of your tax statements, it breaks down exactly how much is going to which entity and the percent increase or percent decrease.
Well, I think it's so important for people to realize they can come to those dispute hearings, you know, make an
Yeah.
amendment. And, you know, that it helps,
Mhm.
at least you feel like you have a voice, and there have been some that have helped with my personal situation, but. You know, that's important, I wish they'd put that in the newspaper, you know, make it a movement.
I think, didn't Amanda Rink try to do that one year? Was it last year? I don't remember.
An
We
explanation.
saw.
Yeah. I think she tried to
Those
explain
letters
it.
were first proposed,
Uh-huh.
we saw that and collectively, all supervisors, all auditors, all treasurers said, this is nothing but going to be a problem. It will be a pain for us. Where the legislature thought, oh no, this is a great idea. We're gonna inform the public, we're gonna educate the public and make it simple for them to see. Yeah, it'll be transparent.
It causes mistrust.
Absolutely.
But being a township trustee, I understand how budgeting goes. But, also, soon that job may be eliminated if you've, heard about what's on the pile of stuff going on down in Des Moines.
I have heard, I think that if any of that gets passed, it will not be eliminated. The brief that I got on Friday on it. It may change to where we are allowed to appoint in Wright County. I think there's 3 townships that still, that is an elected position. But legislation may change it so that they could all be appointed but it will not,
Eliminate.
yeah, it will not be eliminated.
So they're gonna continue. to have
They've heard the voice that, that we should not, be taking those powers and centralizing them, as it seems they're trying to do with everything.
Right.
I voiced my opinion.
I have a question. Introductions would have been nice. I know all of you, but I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. So you're the,
I'm the assessor.
okay, what's your name?
My name's Tony. I live in
Okay.
Vermont.
All right, she called you the assessor, but it helps to know who does what job. So introductions would have been nice.
Okay. Well, we could do that if you want. Go ahead, Dean.
Dean Cluse, Wright County Supervisor.
Rick Rasmussen, Wright County Supervisor.
Ashley Bosch, Wright County Supervisor.
Lynn Lukes, Wright County Supervisor.
Betty Ellis.
Sandy McGrath, Wright County Public Health and Environmental Health.
Amanda Meyer, Wright County Auditor. Tony Nicholas, Wright County.
Keith Baker, Wright County Recorder.
Treasurer.
Jason Slutoff, Wright County Sheriff.
Jeremiah Phelps with the Conservation Board.
Adam Clemens, Wright County Engineer.
Thank you.
Aaron Buddy, Wright County Economic Development Director.
He doesn't sit on our side.
Okay, any other public comments regarding the Wright County property? Oh, yeah, go
On
ahead.
the backside, this is a hypothetical example. Percent change, is that locked in stone or is that hypotheticals all? Percent change for, like city, 3.31, you know?
I think with the cities, the county,
Yeah,
yeah, the counties is going to be what it is. We're not gonna be changing our levy rates anymore at this time. But like Brian was saying, with Eagle Grove School, they said that they're going to go down, right? It's not just a hair. So,
Because the state has went ahead and kicked in something to help this situation out.
Okay.
so The letter's supposed to be the absolute maximum that it would be, worst case scenario maximum.
Well, they got percentage, you don't have to all
Yeah.
percent, okay, that's fine,
Okay.
thank you.
This is, probably poor advice, but when I get that letter, because I've been around it from the start, it goes in file 13 immediately. Honestly, you can get better information by coming up here and asking questions.
So you just get rid of a headache then.
I do, I absolutely do.
It's just a waste of money, it really is.
It is.
More than $1 million of money.
That's
Statewide,
correct.
Statewide.
statewide.
Sorry, don't like it.
Yep.
I know, I get it.
And the state doesn't fund
Contact
that.
about getting rid of this then.
Your legislators.
It's your senators in the house.
Mhm. And the state doesn't fund that either.
And they probably won't listen
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah.
Probably. And don't
You
refer.
really do.
Yeah.
As I say.
They have heard our voices for at least 3 years now concerning this letter, and it's still
An
coming out,
unfunded
so,
mandate.
yeah.
It's, every year it comes out, we all get, what is this? And what I tell them is throw it away, come talk to us, cause it's absolute a mess.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, tell them the heat's still on, Dee.
I will.
Okay, any other public comments? Anybody on Zoom?
This is Amanda Rink with the Wright County Monitor. I do have a public comment. I don't know if you guys recently heard, I'm assuming you have, that Mid-America Publishing is ceasing publication of their newspapers. The Wright County Monitor, the Eagle Grove Eagle, and the Ida County Courier, and our shoppers have been unofficially purchased by State Line Publications. This is really good news because State Line Publications is ran by Kristen Grabinoski. I think I'm saying that correctly. And she's actually the vice president of the Iowa Newspaper Association. She's been in newspapers for years, so this is going to be a really positive, good change. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure that was clear and on the record because I know there had been some confusion, unfortunately. And also with the, sorry, what?
We had already heard, that possibly the Wright County Monitor was gonna be going away, so it's good that you are putting this correct information out there and squashing any rumors about possible closing the local paper.
Yep, nope, we're not going anywhere. Eagle Grove Eagle is still and will still be in publication as well. So that's good news. And as
Excellent.
for the property tax thing, yes, we had suggested you guys writing like basically your own and then just putting it in the newspaper for free for people to do. If you guys still wanted to do that, I would be open to it. Just let me know. However, I can help clear up the confusion because I know when I get my letter too, I also just chuck it. But all right, thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Amanda. Okay, discussion and comments for the proposed tax levy by the Board of Supervisors.
Do you wanna post?
Oh, that's closing. Okay.
I would make a motion to close the public, hearing.
Second,
I have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. All right.
I would make a motion. Well, I guess we don't have to adjourn, do we?
Yeah, you do.
We do? I would make a motion to adjourn from our, public hearing concerning property tax levy.
second that.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn the, Wright County property tax levy hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. We are adjourned from here.
Now we're gonna be adjourning as, not.
Convening.
Yes.
Yeah.
convening. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, we're gonna convene as the Board of Supervisors with our regular agenda. Do I have approval of the tentative agenda?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for the agenda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Minutes of the last meeting, please.
March 23rd, 2026, Chairperson Bosch called a regular meeting of the Wright County Board of Supervisors to order at 9 a.m. Members present were Clues, Rasmussen, Bosch, and Lutz with Ellis absent. Motion by Rasmussen, second by Lutz to approve the tentative agenda. Motion carries. Minutes of the previous regular meeting of March 16th, 2026 were read and approved. Approved claims for payment. Motion by Bosch and second by Rasmussen to table Tony Nicholas, Wright County Assessor, to present slew bill applications for allow or disallow to next week. Motion carries. Motion by Clues and second by Lutz to adjourn the meeting. Motion carries.
Any additions or corrections? We will stand approved as read. All right, claims have been around. Open forum for public input.
Amanda again, sorry, could you guys, like, can we edit the minutes and put my comment into? Yes, okay. Sorry, it's been a Monday. That's where I wanted to talk. Thank you.
Yeah.
We knew that.
Did you?
No.
I'm glad you guys can keep me in line.
Okay. Any other public input? Okay. Consider Wright County Courthouse grounds use policy for Clarion Developmental Alliance, CDA, for the following dates: May 4th, June 1st, July 6th, August 3rd, all for Wright Nights on Main, and June 13th for Festival in the Park.
So, I gave Andy all of our applications. I do want to state that I know last year during Wright Nights, there was, an incident where we broke the contract. It was brought to our awareness. We did what we felt we could to correct that, and I have reiterated to that group that they cannot have any animals of any kind on the courthouse lawn. So that should not be an issue this year. We also are not doing family fun night Friday night before festival, which is why we are only requesting day of.
Okay.
Oh, motion to approve, those dates as listed, May 4th, June 1st, July 6th, and August 3rd. In addition, June 13th, in the evening.
June 13th would be during the day.
Yeah.
During the day.
Yeah, that's for festival in the park. The other three would be in the evening.
Okay, as listed. I guess I should have stopped there.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
You signing all those?
Thank you. Yes, where?
There's a little scribble on one side.
Maybe I have that.
Oh, well, copy two sides. I know I picked the button. I'll get them to you.
Thanks, Andy.
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Brittany. Okay, next item, appoint Melissa Mendez as civil process server. I have all the papers.
She is a.
Okay. Perfect. I have the paperwork here.
Okay, motion to, appoint, to approve the appointment of Melissa Mendez as a civil process server. Second, that.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, review and act on resolution 2026-11 for interfund transfers.
So you guys put the money into the drainage admin fund. From the seismic testing, they gave you guys money for damages that may happen. After talking with our auditor at Gardner and Company, she recommended moving it to full services. So you already paid some bills out of this. It was 410, so 110 minus the 800
So the amount is $109,153.36.
109, what?
153.36.
So I would like to amend this resolution for the transfer to have a little bit more explanation of what she just stated rather than because, if you ever have to go back.
And look at
You
the
wanna
record.
look at
yeah.
it, so, whereas during, time of the seismic testing in Wright County, the Board of Supervisors negotiated funding for any incidental or possible damage or to the tile or bridges in the amount of $110,000. Whereas these funds were placed in the Drainage Admin Fund as a holding place for the funds, whereas the board now feels, a more appropriate place to put the funds will be in the Rural Services Fund,
As recommended or
as recommended by,
by Garner and Company, who is our auditing firm.
yeah. Then now therefore be it resolved by the Wright County Board of Supervisors, the auditor be authorized to make the transfer of funds during the 25-26 budget year not to exceed the following $109,153.36.
I'll second that amendment.
You have to read it.
What's that?
I'd like you to read that.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's chicken scratches, but no, you're funny.
That was a long one, so I was.
As,
And, just for the public, this, because we're, transferring those funds into a separate line item, if you will. We will have the ability to pull those funds back if we see some damages, where we need to utilize those funds, as the reason that we negotiated for them.
So is this able? So there's a motion and a second for the amendment. Is that for approval of the resolution with the amendment?
Correct.
Yes.
That was our intention.
mhm.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second, then I would need to take a roll call vote.
Correct.
Okay, Betty,
Aye.
Lynn,
Aye.
Rick,
Aye.
Dean,
Uh,
Ashley, aye. Motion carries with the amendment. Okay, are you ready, Amanda?
Yeah.
Okay. Discussion and possible action to authorize the Director of Wright County Economic Development to initiate a formal request for proposal, an RFP, and request of qualification, an RFQ process for the real estate listing and strategic marketing of the Wright County Agribusiness Park.
Good morning.
Good
morning.
Wright County has a piece of property in a found place for the air. So we currently have 76 acres at the Agribusiness Park next to Prestige in south west Hardy, or not Hardy, Wright County. I live in Polk County, so I understand that. After being here for about 4 months, I evaluated that piece of property and to the best of my research, 2018, 2019, we have self-marketed, we have attempted to market it through economic development and other avenues. We have a host of realtors locally and well, it's 2026 and I can't really say we have any good bites or any interaction of other than with the entity that's currently there. So I'm recommending to this Board of Legislatures to allow me to entertain a request for proposal from a realtor or an agency that takes listings on a much bigger level, Midwest region, international and national level. The reason that I want to go through this process initially, after visiting with a couple of you, I just thought, well, we'll just contact a realtor and see what we can do. After further investigation and looking at the legalities and so forth, I think we really need to discuss a process on how we would go about this, if it is your pleasure to move forward. So that request for proposal, I did give you somewhat of a timeline that I'm looking at. And then there would be a list of questions, there would be a rubrics, a group that we would look at these applications that come back to us, there would be a timeline, and then finally, the Board of Supervisors would have the last say so. That's kind of in a nutshell. I think we need to, we can't perpetuate doing the same thing and expect different results.
Mhm.
There's some property sitting there. Sure, it's costing us a little bit, but we have the TIF money, but I don't want to get into a big minutia about that. But the whole purpose of that expansion was to do something with it. And that's what I'm presenting, is to entertain that and start the process. And it just takes you folks as our legislatures to direct me and or how we should move forward. And if you don't want to do anything, well, then that'll be the end of the conversation. I'm open to questions, a lot built in there. I do need a committee, and I'm recommending a 3-person committee to review the applications, their proposals and their qualifications. I think that's important to look at their qualifications, and I would recommend a member of the Board of Supervisors and the Board of Supervisors to appoint a 3rd individual to serve on that committee.
Mhm.
Too much information too quick?
Okay. Have you worked with any companies out of Des Moines or like larger firms?
And 3 years ago, as city administrator of the city of Eldora, we had a hospital that sat vacant for many, many years. And I was then in charge to market that, and I was able to have a successful purchase development agreement for that property. So I did use a similar process. So there's quite a host of list of different entities out there. I did, as Dean is my liaison to the commission, I asked Dean to visit with a company that I heard about, and we did that, and then I stepped back and I said, I need the whole supervisors to be included in this, and Dean and I kind of discussed it. I didn't want to go off being rogue and maverick into this process. I think it needs to be a very planned out process. So to answer your questions, I am familiar with different companies, but I don't want to show any favoritism over one company versus the other.
I think it's a great idea. I think we need to be more aggressive at trying to get some lots sold.
Right.
And I mean.
Agreed.
I like it.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think
And-
go ahead.
Like Aaron said, we did have a conversation with a company from a larger area that has a wider audience that could possibly be interested in the site. But again, after that discussion and follow-on discussions between us, we felt that this was the way that we should probably approach this.
My biggest, not the biggest, but we have multiple realtors in Wright County. And they all will receive this RFP. And without being too cynical, that property's been there since 2019. All the realtors in the county know about this, but I haven't seen any action through the files that I've looked through. So at least they will be entertained with, if they have a connection to a national company, then they need to pass that on. So I just want to be inclusive to everybody, that nothing was done underneath the table here. We sometimes get accused of, wheeling and dealing and so forth.
Yeah, I think after the meeting was it last week after the meeting, I stopped in and just talked to him about this, and he proposed this to me. I said, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I like the idea of trying to get that sold to another company, so.
I would make a motion to authorize the Economic Development Director to issue an RFQ for professional real estate marketing and brokerage service for our parcel known as the Wright County Agribusiness Park.
I would second that.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Ashley can now, do I need to actually have it on the agenda for them to make a recommendation to somebody serve on this committee.
I think you can add it to the motion.
Like on the scoring, cause you
Even though it's
have a
already done.
scoring, you have a scoring committee, which is the economic development director, which is the
Unless
project
they need
lead.
time to think about.
Yeah, we
Member-
probably should.
Member of the board of supervisors,
Yep, I'm willing to do that.
which would be
As-
Dean, and then we
as
have,
served as that liaison already.
and then the other person for the scoring of the RFPs is a local industry or a stakeholder. For example, maybe utility partner or a financial professional, so.
And so,
If I could, we have a very talented, pool of people here that could equally serve on that. It wouldn't have to be a local professional stakeholder unless you wanted to, but,
Mhm.
if it
we've
was,
got some very talented people standing behind me.
Yeah.
And basically, it's a five, what it includes is 5 bullet points and very specific questions, and then they have to submit it, and then you don't do it as a group, you do it individually, and then you tally it, and then we sit down as a group and then make a recommendation to the board of supervisors. Yes, you will have the final say so, but it kind of, instead of taking all these, because there could be 20 of them. And to pile 20 of them on your desk, I don't think that would be good use of your time,
Right.
but it's totally up to you what you want to do.
my recommendation would be, to tap into, Prairie Energy's, marketing person, Kate. Pardon me?
Garner.
Yes, as she has, in her businesses through not only Prairie Energy, but also, what's their next higher power? Help me out, Brian. Cornbelt LP, or Cornbelt, yeah. That she has worked with, larger, more metropolitan type, real estate brokers, if you will. So
What,
that would be
yeah,
my recommendation, if she's willing to accept.
could, we have Erin ask her and then
Yes.
bring it to us next week if she were to accept,
Sounds good.
for us to appoint her.
See if
So,
she's willing. to
Ask
do that.
permission first and then.
Sure.
Then appoint, if that
I-
makes any sense.
It makes total sense.
Okay.
Is she currently on the Economic Development Board?
She is.
Mhm. Mhm.
All right, and I will send a request to Kate,
Mhm.
and that's included in the resolution, and I really do thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Erin.
Oh. All right. Our next agenda item is discussion on possible merger between the Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern, and possible action of letter of support.
This letter of support came to the Economic Development Office. And I did some research on both Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern Railroad. And so they have submitted a request to the Transportation Board to pursue this merger. Initially, their application was denied because of lack of proper information or filling all the boxes, and you should have received all this information via email last week. So after visiting with some of my colleagues in the railroad industry and looking at it, my personal feeling is anything that can grow Wright County, I would support. I do believe that railroad is up and coming within our nation. With our agricultural situation that we have of over 95%, we rely on railroad significantly. Working on some projects similar to what Jasper County did with the railroad infrastructure manufacturing depot project, which has been very successful. My concern is anytime you enter into or support two companies merging together, whether it's airline or restaurants or whatever it might be, then there's an appearance that it creates somewhat of a monopoly, and once that happens, then people have challenges getting fair pricing and so forth. So after reviewing this, there's been a lot of letter support through the state of Iowa from all different levels. There's been letters of discontent, and there's been letters, and Annette Sweeney did send a letter of non-committal if they were to assure that there would not be any monopoly price gouge, this type of thing. So the real nuts and bolts of Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern is that they would merge. Right now, we do not have a transcontinental rail line west of the Mississippi. So this would allow, hypothetically, just a real simple example. So we have a Kleenex manufacturing company here in Wright County, and it's next to the railroad. Now, we can send this Kleenex historically to a point, and then it gets switched off to another railroad, and then it goes the rest of the way to the East Coast. Now, we can load up these Kleenexes in a rail car and just get it all the way. So there's some benefit when you look at exports and imports, especially when we're trying to export ethanol and grain, this type of thing from north to south, east to west. But at the same time, I did not feel it was my place to use my personal feelings on something this important. And so, guess what? I'm bringing it to you. But it is something good, and then it could be, and it's just, I just need your direction. So. Any questions about what is being asked?
I think you had my direction.
What was your direction, Dean?
My direction was I was opposed to it, for the reasons stated. I think that it develops a monopoly of one railroad that covers the United States, and so where's the competition there? I understand, your explanation of the convenience of loading on once and getting wherever you want it to go, but I don't like the idea of one railroad carrier for the United States. I think that we've lost the ability to competitively get shipping rates lowered because we've lost the Chicago Northwestern, the Rock Island, those have all gone away and became part of the UP, so. But that is just, that's just Dean.
With that, there's accountability to having two railroads versus just one.
And I guess the other thing that irks me is the power of the railroads and their lack of willingness to work with us on, you name the situation, whether it's secondary roads or it's drainage district issues. They are powerful, and this gives them more power.
Any other discussion? Opinions? What direction would we like to give Aaron?
I gave him my direction, but I'm only one of 5. I would recommend that you ask for a polling of the board.
I would agree with what he says, that anytime we have an issue with drainage especially, it is a absolute nightmare to get anything done. Absolute nightmare.
With the railroads.
With the railroad.
And my concern is the monopoly.
So do I have a motion to,
Betty, your thoughts?
oh, sorry.
I am not researched it enough since I
Okay.
just got back.
Yep.
However, as you so eloquently has stated about monopoly and things like that. I don't know that this is an area that the Board of Supervisors, Wright County needs to get into. Of supporting or not supporting. I do,
So are you recommending a non-response or?
yes. It would be mine is just not to respond or not to send a letter.
Mhm.
Because it's railroad, does it not have to have federal oversight?
It does,
There is federal oversight that does not allow
it does.
merging and monopoly of companies. And
Yeah,
that would be a big-
and that's where they're at currently. This may never come to fruition. This is quite typical of entities looking for letters of support to send to the Federal Transportation Board to approve this merger. As I stated, you know, there's a lot of pros and cons to it. It doesn't, but I didn't feel it was my place to send a letter of support. I could have, and then you found out about it. Well, why did you do that? And so I want to be transparent. So my recommendation, if it is not to send a letter of support, this topic, nothing happened because there was no motion and there was no action taken, so
Yeah.
you don't have to.
It says possible action, so we don't have to take action.
I'm willing to take action to voice my opinion, but again, that's my opinion.
It's gonna be voiced in the minutes.
I doubt the railroad will be
Yeah.
reading that.
No, I don't think you send something saying no to them.
I have one question.
Mhm.
We had a slight, conversation. We don't think that there's a Norfolk Railroad,
There's no,
line in Wright County. I guess going through that thought process, if UP, because UP is in Wright County, if they purchase Norfolk, does that open up other avenues for products to come here and leave and
absolutely,
go in those different directions? So
absolutely.
that's the other aspect of them merging is where Norfolk lines go, UP doesn't go right now.
Right.
So could it open up other avenues for products to come in and out that we wouldn't normally see?
Norfolk Southern is typically east of the Ohio, Mississippi
Mhm.
drainage basin.
And I think that's, I'm glad Adam chimed in there. I know that the railroads are very challenging to deal with. But at the same time, that's why we're having discussion to look at the positive side of what could be for economic development. And I think that's why it came to me. But again, I don't have much for railroads at all where I came from. So this is kind of a new thing for me. You know, right now, Union Pacific has a monopoly on Wright County.
True.
Mhm.
I mean, they do. That's the only business in the county, right? Adam?
That is.
So
You,
when you look at, and just hypothetically, but let's say Haiti, I don't know where all their products go. And then please, I'm not trying to convince you otherwise, I'm just throwing it out, but how are they transported if we made a railroad hub in Wright County? And as railroad is increasing, now do we increase jobs and potential traffic and exporting of our product? So many of the heavy manufacturers use railroad extensively to transport their product, machinery, heavy equipment. So, you know, doing nothing will be okay, I'm sure, but if you feel that there's some potential for the economic development of this, then that's the question, but I'm not gonna try to convince you anymore.
Amanda's got a question on the phone here.
Amanda Ring, the Wright County Monitor says, but how would this affect current trucking companies we have in Wright County?
Yeah, I don't know what the impact would be on them. I don't know. I know that all the heavy sprayers that go out of there right now go by, truck.
Mhm. Right.
So the question was, I don't think we know enough about the long range picture of the merger.
Right.
But I know different parts of the country, they put those trailer cars,
Mhm.
semis on the train.
Absolutely, yeah.
And if you ever listen, that their refrigeration units are still running on those trains, so. Well, being there was no action, I will not send a letter back.
Okay.
Perfect,
So good.
right, thank you for your time, this.
Yes, thank you, Aaron.
Yeah.
All right. Item number 10 is consider the Thrive Iowa grant for Wright County Public Health. Andy?
I just want to say with the agenda last week being so short, it made up.
This is true. That's okay. Ebbs and flows.
So
Trying to get to it. Anyway.
there is a grant available for Thrive Iowa, which is a grant that works with crisis to success or to career for kind of resource navigation, helping people through to help them be successful. Right now, Wright County Public Health does do a lot of navigation and helping people, with maybe resources and things that they need. However, I think this was kind of started last year. And there was a couple pilot programs. They have offered it again this year, very specifically to the behavioral health districts, named groups in the behavioral health districts that could apply.
Which are in Health District 2, right?
We're in District 2, and District 2, any 2 to 3 contiguous counties in the district. District 1 is Woodbury County, District 3 is Marshall and Tama. So it's very specific. So we are able to write this. When this first came out, I did touch base with Webster, Humboldt, Pocahontas, Calhoun. We all touch base, anybody thinking of doing this, we all recognize we do it, ECI. I have McKinley here too, because our HOPES programs are early head starts program or similar programs in each of the county. That part of that is navigation also, part of that is helping. So it's stuff that we do. None of them at that point, they're interested in the support, but they didn't want to write it for the group. So I'm here asking, I went to the Board of Health encourages to write it. But I'm here with you because of course, we again have our budget set. And this is the RFP, this is due on April 10th. This requires hiring a coordinator to navigate. If this occurs, they're hired as under that grant only. Wright County would be employee of record. Wright County Public Health, but it is grant based only, so if the grant. This grant every year, and then with 3 years, a year after year extension up to 4. So if it goes away, whoever's working that position, if that's their sole job, because the navigator, there's 2 navigators and a coordinator, and they are to be full-time positions. I did ask, is that something can be absorbed within your own department? Because that's what we do anyway. They're very specific, needs to be full-time positions, and that means their opinion of full-time position is 40 hours. I did ask that on one of the questions. Full-time could be 35 to 40. So, this uses a Hope Hub model, that they use in Arkansas, so it's specifically using that Hope Hub model with information.
So my concern is, when I read through the application, for this submitted application, I guess, is the 15% administrative limitation. And when I look at that, I don't see how you're able to hire 3 full-time positions with a 15% limitation on administrative costs.
So it is $277,000.
Yep.
15% is 41,500. That 41, if you use that max and say, no, we're not hiring. What, the only money left we have for salary, wages, fringes is minus the 41,500. So that would be like your office space rental. Help paying for a copy machine, that would be all, or someone billing.
Or
Yeah, someone billing.
supervision on your part.
Yeah, so that's, you're right, that's your maximum 41,550. So that leaves 235,450 to hire 2 navigators and a coordinator.
Up to.
The navigators would not be considered, when I read through it, I felt like
No, they're not in the administrative fee.
okay,
Office
I-
space, Sandy bar.
I would wanna,
Machine.
I would wanna make sure of that, because when I read through it, I felt that was in there, and I was trying to figure out how you're gonna
You
hire.
can't,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can.
no. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
You're
verify.
saying,
Go ahead.
so the $41,000 you are not saying is part of,
That's what's in it for me. You know, if you are going to be the employer of record, I'm sorry, and the administrator, grant holder, backbone agency is what they call it.
okay,
15% of those dollars you can use to administer that grant.
okay. I misunderstood that. I thought that was what you're supposed to be able to hire 3 people for.
No,
Okay,
no.
I do think that this is, you know, we're in this weird spot where the state wants to kind of take over everything. And the reality is, public health is already doing this resource
Understood.
navigation.
Yep.
And I think it's a chance for us to say, you know, we can do this. You don't need to create another duplicative system. We can handle this locally. And that's kind of why I'm here. I mean, we're already paying them to do this via building families, and strategically, I think it makes sense in the current environment that we're in.
so you're saying that there's $230-some thousand there that we can utilize to hire 3 new people and fulfill all of the requirements of the grant, I forget what they call it, reasons for hope.
Or the 13 decrements.
Yeah,
So yes, crisis to career, and you have to follow those 13 determinants. I always say that wrong. The 13 determinants to work people through. And like I said, it's a layer of what we do already in our homes. Besides just even those programs, we have people come in the door. And they might have a simple question because they're supposed to be having some medical done and they're just totally lost in the system.
they don't know
We
who
walk
to-
them through.
Yep.
Yeah, on what to do.
okay,
But again, I've already done the budget. This is gonna require, this will, if the grant is received, it'll start July 1st. It will require, obviously, upfront costs because this is billed every month. And then reimbursed. So typically Iowa grants do pay, it's a lot better with the Iowa grants portion of it. And by the time I bill, it's usually back in 3 weeks.
Good.
Of being billed out, but I can't guarantee that, but it is a monthly billing, so that is a good thing, not a quarter.
and it is a maximum of 277,000, I
Up
think.
to.
It's not a 277,000. It seemed to me it was gonna be as you generated costs you build the state and they reimburse
I have
you
to use it.
up to the total of $277,000.
You have to use it all, so
Yeah.
you have to make sure that once you hire your navigators and coordinators. And you're choosing that, if you choose that maximum 41, you have enough to build back. To capture those costs.
Understood. And so our discussion that you and I had concerning this, I was under the impression that those administrative costs included those 3 employees, which absolutely is impossible to do.
Right.
Now that you tell me that it isn't, but in having dealt with the HHS hierarchy concerning early childhood Iowa, I would want to get some more information before I made a decision. I know that we're up against the April 10th deadline, but I wanna make sure that if we apply for this, that what we think we can do with the money, we can, if what you're telling me is correct, and HHS confirms that, yes, that is correct, I agree 100% with, we are already providing these services. You know, we'd have to generate the new council, I forget what they were, but there was.
Yeah, you have to have a community, cause your other thought is you're pulling in community members and community groups.
Yeah.
For that referral basis too, and meeting with them, it's kind of a coalition.
Yeah.
For the navigators, can we use who we already have?
You have to
Not
hire.
according to this.
And yeah,
Yeah, it requires that you.
and I don't have any more ability to ask questions, when they put those RFPs out. They close it up, you can go in and ask a question, you have a deadline. And I asked the 35 to 40 question. But in reading the other questions. Yeah. I mean,
And if we're awarded this grant and all of a sudden HHS changes the rules on us, these employees that we would hire, they would be hired with the understanding that when the money goes away, your job is going away. This is, we are hiring you based on these funds continuing.
It's grant based only.
Okay.
And a lot of, honestly, with our blended budget of public health, if they start pulling rugs out from under us, I
get
have
it.
people that are working full time in some of those programs that if they take it away,
Yep,
I can't keep their job.
Yep.
This is only guaranteed for 4 years, and after that, we don't know what could happen.
And it's a year-to-year thing.
You get to reapply every year.
It's not a whole reapplication, it's an extension. And typically 99 point, well, I think they always have just given that extension. So I'm comfortable with 4 years. Unless they, money goes away.
So let me get this right, you're already doing some of this stuff, right? And now they're gonna give you 277,000 a year. But you're gonna have to spend,
We're gonna have to hire 3 new people.
yeah, you're gonna spend
Benefits.
210,000 just for employment.
We do it free right now. Besides in our other programs.
Yeah,
Go
so,
ahead, Betty.
so since gonna be a new fiscal year, and it's kind of like, my thought is Jen. Sheehan, yeah. When they no longer was doing it with mental health.
Yep.
She applied for the new program July 1, she was done with the county, she continued on with the new program. And I didn't know if it is a situation where in July 1, we're going to discontinue. If you apply for the grant, you get the grant and we're moving forward. If we can let's say we discontinue. I'm throwing this out there, I don't know, like the HOPES program and the WIC. I mean,
It's all by itself.
it is all by itself, but
Yes.
there's when you emphasize that we are doing a lot of these programs already. So you let 2 employees are finished with Wright County on June 30 and they start, and you hire them back under the new
Well,
program.
you could, if theoretically, if that, something like that happened, you have people in those 3 to 4 years of some type of continuity where you could put it in if you have,
Right.
you know, people that
So-
retire. I
So
suppose
what
you
my,
could look
so
at it
what
that
my
way.
thought is that all of a sudden these employees are done with these programs and what we're doing. And then we start with the new grant and we start July 1 with the new, with those 2
Understand what
employees.
you're saying, I understand exactly
Yeah,
what you're
so
saying.
you're not hiring 2 new people for 4 years with the question of whether you're gonna have a job July 1 again.
Well-
You know, as it goes on.
But they would probably still be hired under that.
Yes,
Under the current proposed legislation for behavioral health and HHS, this, I think, is the prelude to regionalization of public health. And, and I think the current legislation says that under HHS direction, they have until, I think, July 1st of 2027 to implement that. Initially, I think they were shooting for this June 30th. So, you know, the more we talk about it, the more I think that we should apply for this.
It strengthens your, because they're gonna look for, even if they push that HHS.
Yep. Which you know it's coming.
They're looking for, you will have a backbone agency, just like this Thrive is a backbone agency to this, they're gonna have a lead agency of that. Who that would be in our group, I don't know,
right.
but there we, you know, or if it even happens, there's going to be a lead agency in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Just like PCI, I mean. What
So-
happens?
So if you've got people that are doing some of this now. I'm just speaking out. Could you tell them that they're done June 30th, but you'll be rehired July 1st for this new thing, so we don't lose?
If their programs go away, but right now, I don't see, we've got the hopes and the early head start. I don't see an end to that right now in June. Could it come down the road when legislature gets done messing?
Absolutely.
But what are your thoughts on when those programs, when they really?
I mean, if their bill passes, which is an open question, we would have 1 year left before the state rebids the whole thing, and they keep complaining about the number of contracts. So
Currently, I hold the ICAP grant for Hamilton, Humboldt, and Wright. And that's part of it's just a different funder to the programs that we do that, parents as teachers, and we're very qualified people to do that. So there's pieces, so if it did occur, yes, you could easily, you know, put someone in that position.
Do you have any examples of programs that the Thrive wants to incorporate or wants to do?
Hope Hub it's an Arkansas-based program. I think it started with, maybe people getting out of, correctional and, working them towards success. But that's the model that they're using is Hope Hub with and these navigators and coordinators will be trained on using that system. And I think it's also a way of pulling in what resources are available.
When you try and look this up, Betty, to which I've tried, HHS, their websites are only giving you a 35,000 foot view and very broad, generalized baloney talk, rather than this is exactly what it's gonna do, you know, I mean, it's I've tried to find out, you know, what are the specifics, and
Right.
the specifics.
It's not
of
out
this
there yet.
Is you're working through
There-
towards those 13
There's still,
determinants, but good luck, cause a lot of times you only find 12.
that's right.
So.
Well, it's just, I don't want, you know, as we heard this morning about spending, money spending. If there's programs that we're already doing, or if there's, you know, navigations and things that we're already doing. Can we utilize those employees starting July 1 to run,
That's what I
to
was,
go into this program? And
Absolutely.
help our
if-
budget.
If they
But the-
did not have their position, but the
Right,
navigator.
right now that's written in the grant that you cannot use existing
Right.
It
employees
has to be a
to fill
full-time
that,
Right,
yeah.
right.
navigators
Yeah.
and.
Way that it would help with the budget is the 40,000 in admin. That you can help to pay for Barb's salary, you can help to pay the electrical bill, you can help to
Mhm.
pay all of
Well,
Sandy's salary, all of that.
rent for space.
And all that,
Yeah.
that's 40,000 in money coming in for administrative costs that we don't have right now.
so will they be stationed out of here, these 3 new people?
The first year, you're not allowed to subcontract. I imagine the next year you would, but you'd have to pay wherever. I don't know that I'd do that if the dollar amount stayed the same, but as the backbone agency, if they said, hey, we're gonna give you 350,000 instead. You could strategically place somebody further, you know, into those other agencies, but to do that, you're gonna have to pay them
Mhm.
some of that administration, which is fine, but they won't allow you to subcontract out after the first year. It's a squeeze.
And you
Their
gotta
way
pay
of manipulating them somewhat.
the 277, you have to pay up front, or what did you were talking about?
I have to bill it every month, so if it started July 1st, I would have to hire. And pay wages, I could bill on August 1st right away for office space and different things like that was purchased, but July to. I'd say the first 6 weeks, that's gonna have to come out of. I needed the starter or seed money in a budget to recoup it.
Do you have that?
I did not write it in there.
It's about $24,000. If you take the 277,000 divided by 12 months. It's about $24,000, $23,000. So that would be kind of your upfront cost, but then after that, if she keeps up the billing.
It should be reimbursed
And I
by,
did not,
so those dollars come in, but not until they're spent.
Right.
yeah, and I
So
didn't
these
write
are
it
3
in that new
full-time
one.
county employees then?
They would be three
They're-
full-time,
Their county is employee of record.
right,
So would they be eligible then for the health insurance and
Yes.
all the?
yes.
It'd be like
All the benefits?
McKinley Bailey.
Right. Because we're the employer of record for
And
that.
that is similar to ones that, you know, if you're hired only a grant base or only for that duty. And it goes away
For that time
for
period.
that time period,
They're
it happens a lot, you know,
If the grant goes
So
away,
at the
you
end of
go.
the day, the county would put the money forth to pay for this, and then you'd get reimbursed for all of it.
Correct.
yes.
Even health insurance and
Correct.
stuff like
Oh,
that.
And then they
Yeah.
couldn't collect unemployment after it's a
They
done deal.
could, that would be one of the risks, is they could collect.
No,
unemployment.
at ISAC, I think we asked,
Oh, maybe you got that
And-
right.
No, but they could still collect, right?
Yes, I think unemployment, you are still eligible
Yeah.
to, collect that.
Yeah.
And you are also able to, what's it called, where you can carry your health insurance?
Cobra.
You were also,
That's
yeah,
the employee, they pay it all.
Is that, who comes with that expense though, if they do unemployment, that, cause then the grant money that won't cover that, well.
No.
right,
oh,
Because
it'd
that
be
would go back
county.
on what's paid in.
it'd be the county.
Cause you're paying the county and what with the FICA?
and I don't know if
Or
that's,
employment.
but when I asked the question to, Jeff, yeah. He said you can have specifics in the contract, but I don't know that you can write that specific to eliminate those.
Mike Galloway, that'd be a
Yeah.
Mike Galloway
Yeah.
question. and
Jeff
make
is.
Jeff is, yeah,
Mhm.
his
Yeah.
second hand man.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that just be like a full-time temporary position then? I mean, are you eligible for?
It would be a grant-based, full-time position. So when the grant goes away, you go away.
That's what Mary and I both are right now.
And honestly, a lot of my department's not that way, but, if you look at the pieces of mine, if we lost one of some of those major programs, I'd have to look at, like, I'd have to downsize a lot. Because everybody there in our department, there's some fund that's paying a lot of what they do.
Is the Michael on Zoom, can you state your last name? This is Michael G, so I don't know if that's Mike Galloway or
Oh, I don't know.
can you write it in the chat?
Andy Flagg, do you know? Do you know who Michael G is on, line?
Zoom.
Okay.
We weren't sure if it was Mike Galloway or not. My question, so if another county within the District 2 decides that they wanna apply for this as well, the ones that you haven't talked to, will this grant be split between two, entities or?
No. And I don't know, just in I visited with 5 of them, and they would write letters of support, after, and it would be the same way, I would reach out to all of the counties in the district to ask for letters of support if we write that. But another nonprofit could also write for it.
So this would not be just for Wright County only.
No, it's for
that
the
district.
That's correct.
Very contiguous, I just need to stay contiguous.
Yeah.
It's that backbone agency, so,
Okay.
and there's not travel, they don't, it's not, you can't work remote, but you do this on the phone and a computer.
In the
office,
yeah.
yes. So you're running all over.
Yeah, it's not,
Here and
there isn't travel.
So you're asking for our blessing to
Write the grant.
write the grant.
Correct.
Yes. That's what I'm asking for.
Do you think there's any possibility of using one or two of our current employees for the 3 doing the job? Or do you think you'll do
Can't
3
right
new?
now, because it's very specific that, it's a full-time position. It can't be pieces shared like we do other stuff. If something happened with the program and I lost funding, definitely, could be, and who knows next year. And this is kind of a pilot, it was a pilot last year, they very specifically sent it to certain counties, this is the same thing, they very specific on who can write this. So next year they could say, yeah, you don't have to have, I wish they didn't, but I think part of it is what unfortunately should have. I'm not the all expert, is the money that they're putting into each of those, had they just spread that to local public health or the ACI regions or whatever is currently existing.
Should just be
Would have made 100%.
20 hours a week in each county for one person to do this would make a whole lot more sense. But they have this vision there in Des Moines of these regions.
So the vision sucks.
And,
Districts, yeah.
so,
And we have to stand strong in our, whether they give, if you do it or not. somebody is gonna need to be a backbone and we need to continue to, you know, take care of our residents and our people.
Yep.
And honestly, local public health, DCI, they're the most stable on staffing and getting it done and.
Budget wise, can we handle it?
No.
Yes.
You guys are gonna have to support her.
Yeah, don't we always?
Like I said, it's 24,000, and so,
And we'll get that back.
yes, is a month approximately,
Yes.
a month, let's say.
Could be more, could be less.
But it,
And just because we apply doesn't mean that we've been
right,
granted.
It's a competitive,
Yeah.
Right.
there will be other bidders.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd make a motion to let her do her magic on the grant.
I'll second that.
All those in favor? Oh, go ahead.
Whoops.
Any more discussion?
So your motion is to let her apply for the grant?
Yes.
Correct,
And that's all at this point?
correct.
If I apply for it and get it, though, I need to move forward for it, so
Yes.
Yeah.
expect that if I do
Yeah.
it, I get it, that I won't be.
Yeah, we don't want you back in here.
Don't blame you, that's fine, it works.
I was gonna tell you 3 minutes when you started, but I knew that was gonna work.
yeah.
Yeah,
You will have to approve her hire.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, ideally, it'd be nice, you know, so there's not a overlap, and I didn't realize, I totally didn't think about the district thing.
No.
But,
Whether the district thing comes to fruition or not, I don't know.
right,
There's a lot of resistance, big time resistance to it, because it really does put rural Iowa and rural health
And
in a bad position and.
mm-hmm,
I think that the next governor will determine whether we
end up.
continue down this path or not.
call for the question.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second. All those in,
I wanted to hear Lynn's thoughts, what he was.
sorry.
My concern is the grant gonna continue after 4 years? I hate hiring people and then have to lay them off. I don't like
And then
that.
pay.
You are hiring these people with the understanding, they come into it
With the
with
contract,
the understanding that this could go away after 1 year, so there is no.
But yet we're gonna still be paying unemployment for these individuals.
if
Yes.
possibly can,
Possibly, yeah.
Which.
If you collect
Divided by-
unemployment,
Is it just one county that's doing this, or is it multiple counties that are involved in this
We'd be,
grant? You
No,
don't know, or it's just one county?
it would be us alone.
Gotcha, okay.
any other thoughts?
I had a question. Who makes the job description for these? We get the grant in these positions.
They're in.
They're
included. Yeah.
So being we are the employer, can that job description be altered? You have to have the basics of what they want, but could we add our language of other jobs? Because like this gentleman here was stating, you know, is there gonna be enough to do? So can you add into that job description
Additional duties.
additional duties so that you're covered? I dealt with this too, where I had employees and I used the grant to get it, hire somebody, but they just didn't sit there and just do what the grant said, because otherwise they're sitting there twiddling their thumbs.
and nobody says they can't answer the phone as much as possible, because it could be someone looking for resources. However, when it goes down to billing, if you're not doing that and I have you over here on a total different project, I'm not comfortable cheating that out, cause that has people, I can't bill that to this grant, it has to be billed, so.
And I know it
But they
sounds,
can't answer the phone and, yeah.
and it sounds weird for people who don't work in this world, that you only have a job for as long as the grant lasts, but that's
That is reality.
that's
the way that we live. Our contract gets renewed every year. We write competitive bids for the adolescent pregnancy prevention and the child abuse prevention, and sometimes the money comes in and sometimes it stops, and you know, that's working in social services, for better or
I'm
worse.
sure if you'll get any applicants for that, I mean, I would never quit my job to go to a job that I might only have for a year. And, you know, we have a full-time position open in my office right now. And the pool of applicants that we're getting is, and that's for a full-time, not temporary, but full-time, full benefits, the whole nine. You know, so I just really wonder if you would easily get any decent applicants for that. And at the end of the day, what's the benefit for Wright County to do this?
Crisis to success. So
Providing the service to our
Sounds like we're
constituents.
doing it.
we are we're filling in gaps. So, this will be out here. Right now, we're filling in gaps. We're not out there saying, hey, you know, but people are coming to us anyway. There's no, and we'll do it, because that's what we do to help people. But there's no, I can't add new people. We're squeezing it all in because there's no grant or fund to go with it. It's just carve out the time and we'll figure it out.
Quick question, say like, okay, so they're gonna be on our insurance and we know roughly what it costs, let's say 25,000 is the county share per person per year. Let's say next year insurance goes up 30%. Who makes up that difference? You're maxed out at 277, I mean, if you take, seriously, you plan right now at 75,000, okay, so 41,000 is admin. Take out 75,000 just for insurance currently.
Mhm.
That's not much of a wage.
Mhm.
And I was like,
You're-
40 hours a week.
So,
And then,
what
and
you
then
would,
insurance goes up 30% for the next year. Who makes up that difference if you've maxed it out with the current? Do they have to take a pay cut to make up that difference of insurance going up?
I would think that when you put out the offer of a job, that you would take that into consideration.
Or is the county gonna backfill the difference?
Well, minus having thought ahead of that, yeah, then I would think that it would be our responsibility to backfill that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And
if
you can't
you-
lower their wage
Right.
to offset the increase in.
Right.
you have your 41,
So I just did it. So you have
550.
277 minus 15%. Minus 75,000, 25 for a family plan. Divided by 3. This is without IPERS, FICA,
Understood.
all of that, 5343.
Yeah.
So you'd have to, the salary would only be like 40 some thousand.
Oh, I can tell you exactly.
Understood.
If I hired somebody at $20 an hour, it'll cost with FICA, IPERS and insurance, 74,000. I can hire 2 people, 2 navigators at $20 an hour. And 1 coordinator at $28 an hour, that's maxing it out. And that would leave our administration fee at 35,502. Keep in mind that administration can be moved up and down. So whatever you change in wages, your max of your 15% is 41,550. If I left it at 41,550 for over the next 4 years, that would be a $166,200 for the county over 4 years. If you use that as your buffer, which a smart person would do, without, costing the county anything that could raise or lower. If you had to add additional, then are we still comfortable at only getting 33,000 for administration?
Right.
That makes sense? Your rent,
It does.
your copy machine that
Well-
you share.
We're already spending that money on administration for our current
Yes.
operations,
Farm,
is
whatever.
what you're saying, yes,
I
I
can,
get it.
yeah, I can relieve 41,550, but it doesn't have to be that whole entire amount.
I get it.
I can probably tell you comfortably over the next 4 years, 30,000 period, amen. Could probably, you know,
Well, yeah, cause those people are, they're just gonna need computers, pens, paper, cell phone. I mean, there's still costs.
And that all
Above
comes
the
out of the
district.
277, right?
Pardon?
That all comes out of the.
Correct.
The
That's what that is.
cost for the 15%.
we already have the office.
Part of the admin costs go to the auditor's office for the payroll, the claims. Is any part of
No,
41? No.
Okay, I have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
But I do still want to have her evaluate internally. Cause that would really save the entire budget, is if she can manipulate programs within internal.
I'm hoping they'll give up the next year and say it doesn't have to be just for one, so.
Mm-hmm,
But, how about, what if I hire 2 part-time?
mm-hmm.
Then you can, you know, or even if you didn't hire and you said I want 4 to 5 on this, 4 to 5 on the other. I'm hoping that backs up.
Right. But I think you definitely need to work it through with Mike Galloway on hiring contract, the contract.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks, Sandy. Our next agenda item is Adam. Consider resolution 2026-12 awarding contract for project BROS-C099 108 8J-99.
So I need to make one correction on the resolution. My heading says 5F, that needs to be changed to an AJ, so I'll get you that kind of.
do
The
a what?
resolution corrected.
Up top here, it says
So,
8J
the-
and 5F.
Both where it says the BROS, the parent, the project number, is not supposed to be 5F, it's supposed to be AJ. So that's the only
No.
difference. It was, sorry.
Slow down, say it, the letter phonetically for me.
5F needs to turn to an 8J as in
Juliet,
Juliet.
8 Juliet, got it. You were saying it so fast, I couldn't understand.
So, sorry,
It's correct on our agenda.
it is
It's
correct.
correct on the agenda,
Okay,
but not
yeah.
on the,
Thank you.
So, we led a project, bridge number 175, which is on the Four Corner Bridge up in Norway. We call it Four Corner Bridge up in Norway Township on the C20 R33 corner. Right here, it's on the gravel. It is a smaller bridge right now. It's got concrete guardrail on it, which will be taken down and we will replace with a 14x12 twin box culvert. It was led at the DOT. We had 3-4 contractors who bid on the project in an apparent low. My recommendation is to go with the apparent low. Which was only, I think, 6,000, was it about 6,000 under the engineer's estimate, so it's right where it needs to be.
I would have preferred it was 20,000. I understand.
I think it's good that we were close so that we
So do I.
had a good idea of how much the cost would have been.
I'm just,
So, no, definitely, a good competitive bids though.
And what's completely wrong with that bridge?
It's just an old structure starting to have life out of it. So it's ready to go.
It looks better than some crap we got over in the Goldfield area.
Well, I guess we'll have to take a look at some of the Goldfield bridges.
We have. It gets run over every year by feed trucks and sprayers.
Well, that's not
That'd be a local project.
Maybe a local project.
We don't have funds.
Don't say we haven't looked at it.
We've looked at it and we've repaired it every time. The question on the table right now is for this project.
You're great.
So, like I said, my recommendation would be the apparent low bid,
and, amount of local dollars that would go into this,
0.
love it.
These are a lot
So
easier
that
to.
motion?
I would make a motion to approve resolution 2026-12, awarded contract for project BROS-C099 108 8 Juliet 99.
No. Yep, there you go. Yep.
to who?
To Peterson Contractors Incorporated, who was the apparent low bidder.
Second,
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Resolution.
Resolution.
Oh, yeah.
Betty says
Sorry.
aye.
Betty?
Aye.
Lynn?
Aye.
Rick?
aye,
Dee?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries.
And that,
get a chance, have them sign that and get it to me.
Yep.
That'd be great.
They all-
that low bid
so-
was, did you say that?
Yeah,
Oh, do we need to say how much?
No, the low bid, the apparent low was for $554,351.15. Thank you.
Yep.
Very much. That's all I have.
You want these back?
Nope, you can keep them now.
Okay. Okay, Tony Nicholas, Wright County Assessor to read it. Bluebill applications for allow and disallow. That stack looks bigger than Rick's was like.
This is the year's will application, it's a yearly,
Yeah.
it's a yearly letter, usually send it out to the FSA office, the empty forms, and she mails everything out to the owners. And then they have to sign and give back to her. I don't know if the process
is the
will change, I believe she will be retiring, so we'll have to see how that goes. This year there are 300 renewal applications.
So you say Colleen sends those out?
Yeah, she mails them. So we type up the blank page that has all their info on it.
Yep.
And then give them the stack to her, we start now. Come May, she picks up the application, mails them out to the owners. I'm assuming there's more of a process on her end. And then, gets the signatures back and keeps a nice pretty list for us.
Okay.
So, she keeps a list. There were 5 that didn't send anything back that, for removals. And when they don't send it back, we don't have anything to deny because they never filled out the application. And then there are 3 new ones this year. So 300 renewals, 3 new ones, 5 removed, total of 2,784.31 acres. So the limit is 3,000.
And how do they get removed?
When they don't fill it out and send it in, it's a yearly application. So
Okay.
we just take it out of the system.
Good.
This is a by resolution, not all counties do the SLU bill. Any questions?
Refresh my memory, if you've done that, that reduces your total taxable
There's a,
acres, correct?
yep, so their parcel, this says number of acres that are in it, how many acres, and it says type. So rivers and streams, open prairies, recreational lakes, forest cover, river and stream banks.
Yeah.
So it's that amount they do not pay taxes on in that area.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
good luck.
Okay, Sam.
I would make a motion
We don't
to,
need a motion. She's
Oh.
just presenting them.
No, they need,
no, they do.
Oh,
I would make a motion to, go with the, assessor's recommendation on the SLU bill applications.
Second,
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
aye,
All those opposed, same sign.
Do you have-
Motion carries.
Do you have any idea what the total, tax impact
Total?
that is? Yeah.
I could look, I
Could you?
can look and get that back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. We have to send in letters every year to the state, so I
Okay.
can get that.
Appreciate it.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Item number 13, Tony Nicholas, again to present missed military service property tax applications for 2025 assessment year for allow or disallow.
This was just one that got missed in July. It was received November 2024. If it's something that the taxpayer had missed or didn't get it into us in time, we won't do that, but this was an error on our end. It just forgot to get somehow missed going in the stack with everybody else's in July.
need approval on that,
That would be wonderful.
motion to approve,
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Stack it up.
see you tonight at 4:30.
Yep,
Yeah.
hopefully it'll be quick. Don't talk too much.
Your alarm is set for 4:30 PM.
Don't ask me how that happened.
On the back, there's a date and signature. If you don't wanna do the date, we have a little stamper that we can do.
Well, how the hell-
Perfect.
Don't
Yep,
do that one quick.
Allow and then signature.
Yeah.
It's you got it already.
I always start at 10, I'm late.
And I've already notified Amanda.
You can take that one with you.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
That's
Mhm.
right.
Alrighty. Moving on, old business. New business. Oh,
Was there was an email about a meeting with Rowan on county maintenance.
Took care of it. I was gonna talk to you after the meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Um,
15-minute phone call, took care of it.
awesome. How is the hazardous mitigation plan update
We
going?
are meeting as a department head meeting following this meeting.
Okay.
Or,
Yes.
and that was for
Not-
this, was my understanding.
No,
No,
April 1st was when
oh, okay.
they were doing that.
That will be a topic to be brought up that
Mhm.
inputs
At the
for this.
department head meeting, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Alright, we have, yeah, like you said, conference board meeting, it's meeting tonight at 4:30 on the budget. And then, do we want to put on the agenda for next week to review, the, county engineer's contract? Look at that.
I thought we had that already on the
Yeah, I thought that
agenda
was
for
already-
April 6th.
Right?
Okay, alright,
Yeah.
What's that? Sorry.
got it,
Next week?
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
Any new business? Update on meetings.
I had Udmo Tuesday for Dodge. And then also I had, Central Iowa Detention. And I asked Amanda for some information, if she can find it for me. Cause they're redoing the 2080 agreements.
Mhm.
They wanna charge, well, they wanna charge $1 per capita, and I'm like, no. Hopefully, I don't know if we paid any when we joined it back in 2013 or not.
And speaking of 2080 agreements, I think if each entity had to pay in at that time, it should be listed in the 2080
Yeah,
agreement.
I don't think we did, but Amanda's gonna look at it for me when she gets time. What?
In 5 years.
Anybody else?
We had the hazardous mitigation, Zoom meeting on Monday. And that's why the discussion about, filling out this, form. I thought that I had building families on Monday, but, we didn't, I had that written in my day planner wrong. I had a, Iowa Drainage District Association meeting, and we held that here on Wednesday. The biggest part of the discussion was concerning, legislation that's going through and there wasn't anything of note on that. There was a concern about, legislation concerning, beaver dams. But I called it up and it actually allows us to, deal with beaver dams rather than, keeping us from dealing with beaver dams, so. And then I had CFR on Thursday, the building project continues, they had to change, they had a change order for, there was supposed to be a retaining wall, but, the soils were not correct for, building the retaining wall, and so we got approval through with the DNR, because our neighbor is DNR property, to do a 3-to-1 slope, that'll be, grass that's not mowed, so. And there's some drainage that goes down through that, and there's, rip wrapping the bottom of that. This week we have the conference board, of course, tonight. And I have the watershed management meeting on Thursday. Of note, there's a jury trial proposed for Thursday, so I don't know how that, I've got jury duty and I know Rick's got jury duty. I don't know how I don't know what that means because I haven't ever had jury duty, so.
Did you call in yesterday?
I did, and we're supposed to call in on Wednesday night. Because there's a jury trial that's supposed to start on Thursday.
Well, I just got in. Starting April 1st.
Well, Thursday is April 2nd.
Anything else before the Board of Supervisors?
We have a safety meeting on Wednesday at 9 o'clock at the engineer's office.
You did have, or you do have?
We will have it this Wednesday.
Okay.
Anything else before the Board of Supervisors?
Motion to adjourn.
Second that.
The motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. We are adjourned and we're gonna move. We'll wait for Rick to come back
Yep.
to,
Minutes of the March 19th meeting. The Wright County Board of Supervisors met in special session as trustees of the drainage districts. Vaughn present, Rasmussen, Clues, Bosch via Zoom, and Luke's with Ellis absent. Also present were Courtney Moore, Strange Administrator. Other interested parties in person were Scott Hippen, Bill Rodeo, Harold Trask, Mark Wiggins, Humboldt County Supervisors Bob Rasmussen, Mike Carpenter, Dennis Thompson, and Colin Klingbeil, the engineer with Jacobson Westergaard and Associates. Wright County Chairman Pro Tem Rasmussen called the meeting to order at 4:30 p.m. Motion by Clues and seconded by Rasmussen to approve the tentative agenda. Motion carried. Engineer Colin Klingbeil presented the preliminary engineer's report regarding proposed drainage improvement to JDD 162-7 located northeast of Brunswick. He stated that the purpose of the meeting was informational only and that no formal action would be taken at this time. Klingbeil explained that the project would extend from the outlet to 130th Street with the possibility of further extension. He reviewed engineering data, including maps showing the existing tile system, proposed 42-inch main improvements, and associated laterals. Landowners expressed concerns regarding back pressure from Prairie Creek during periods of heavy rainfall and discussed the potential financial impact of the project on their properties. Klingbeil reported that the estimated total cost of the full project is approximately 1.6 million. He further explained that an alternative option, which would improve the main line only up to 130th Street, is estimated to cost approximately 1.3 million. It was explained that project costs could potentially be spread over a period of 10, 15, or 20 years. He added that a preliminary classification would be necessary to determine the assessment of costs on a parcel by parcel basis based on the benefit received rather than solely on acreage. The remonstrance process was reviewed and it was explained that the project could not proceed if more than 50% of landowners representing 70% or more of the land area file objections. Klingbeil discussed a potential annexation of approximately 122 acres located north of 120th Street. It was noted that a defined boundary must be established before the reclassification process can be completed. The trustees agreed to hold a future joint board meeting in order to formally direct the engineer to proceed with a preliminary classification. Klingbeil stated that he would send letters to affected landowners regarding the potential annexation and request that they submit any existing tile maps within 30 days. Motion by Wright County Rick Rasmussen and seconded by Humboldt County Bob Rasmussen to adjourn the meeting. Motion carried.
any additions or corrections on that one? Yes, I will.
Next minutes were of March 23rd, 2026. The Wright County Board of Supervisors met in regular session as trustees of the drainage districts with the following members present. Rasmussen, Clues, Bosch, and Lukes, with Ellis absent. Also present were Amanda Meyer, auditor, and Courtney Moore, Strange, administrator. Other interested parties via Zoom were Van Mitchell, Bob Ritter, and Michael. Other interested parties in person were Lee Galantine, engineer, Travis Peterson with Peterson Construction, or Peterson Excavating, and Mike Coleman. Chairperson Bosch called the meeting to order at 9:17 a.m. Motion by Rasmussen and seconded by Clues to approve the tentative agenda. Motion carried. Minutes of the previous meeting on March 16th, 2026 were read and approved. Motion by Bosch and seconded by Rasmussen to approve drainage claims for payment. Motion carried. There were 2 work orders that were reviewed and approved. First one for DD 64 in section 18 of Wall Lake for removal of 2 beaver dams in no man's land that's causing water backup into DD 64. And then the second one is DD 84, section 33 of Belmont Township as a blowout. Morse presented the following drainage invoices. Both of them were for Mossdam Construction. First one for DD 174-215 in Wall Lake, section 31 for $1,697.36. The second one was for DD 160 lot 1 in Lake Township, section 23 for $16,204.24. The trustees went into recess at 9:20 a.m. The trustees returned from recess at 9:30 a.m. The trustees met with Peterson Construction, Lee Galantine, and Mike Coleman to discuss DD 62 repairs. The original plan from prior meetings was to complete targeted pipe and erosion repairs without a full ditch clean out or dipping out the bottom. Coleman requested reconsideration of the project and suggested that the ditch be cleaned out or dipped rather than hauling in dirt for repairs. In order to reduce hauling costs, utilize the dirt removed from the ditch bottom while getting the ditch cleaned out and straightened in many areas. It was noted that a clean out would improve flow, address additional issues, and extend the functional life of the ditch. Peterson stated that the upper end of the open ditch appears to be in relatively better condition than the rest of the ditch. Discussion included ditch conditions such as standing water, silt in some sections, erosion, and obstructions, including beaver dams. Peterson indicated that excavated material would initially be unsuitable for use, but could be utilized after drying, and that efforts would be made to preserve existing vegetation on ditch banks and minimize disturbance. He added that areas lacking buffer strips, but dirt is needed, would have excavated material brought from areas with buffer strips, and that landowners would be may be responsible for reseeding disturbed areas. Cost comparisons were discussed. The original repair only work was estimated at just under $82,500. A dip out of the lower 2.5 miles with repairs was estimated at $100,000. The trustees confirmed that the project is under the formal bid threshold and had been obtained through quotes. Therefore, any change in scope would be addressed through a change order. Galantine recommended that if the cost difference remains minimal, proceeding with a clean out would provide added long-term value. Morris was directed to send a letter to landowners of the district notifying them of the proposed change in scope, explain the proposed clean out, and request any objections or comments by April 3rd, 2026. The trustees will consider a change order at the April 6th, 2026 meeting. Motion by Clues and seconded by Rasmussen to adjourn the meeting. Motion carried.
Any additions or corrections on that one? Both will stand approved as read. Approved drainage claims.
There is 3 claims for today totaling $18,009.81. 2 of them are the approved invoices that were discussed at the last meeting, and then the other one is just a transfer of funds from an old main open ditch account to the new one to get that balance covered.
This is.
I would make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, to approve drainage claims. All those in favor? Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Open for public input regarding drainage districts. Okay, moving on, review and sign any drainage work orders.
We have 4 work orders for today. The first one is for DD 136, section 35 of Lake Township. This was reported by Old Disney as a blowout. The second one is for DD 180 lateral 1 in section 1 of Wall Lake Township. This was reported by Lyle Greenfield as a blowout. The third one is DD 29, section 16 of Vernon Township, reported by Andrew Denio, reported as 4 blowouts along a 16-inch tile. And the last one is DD 9 on the main A in section 30 of Dayton Township. This was brought in by Dean, going out and talking with a landowner, and is reported as multiple blowouts in the ditch bank and damaged tile outlets.
Any comments or questions on those? No? Okay. Moving on, review and sign any open drainage invoices.
We have 6 drainage invoices. The first one is from Nymaster, our drainage attorney, in the amount of $260 for his work on Joint Drainage District 111-3 and reviewing the code pertaining to the reclassification of some laterals. The next one is for DD 62 for postage to send out those notices to the landowners. This was for $20.72. The next one is for Henniger Construction in the amount of $820 for a work order in Subdrainage District 14 in section 36 of Wall Lake Township. That was a broken tile. The next one was also Henniger Construction in the amount of $7,665.58 for work done in Drainage District 126, section 4 of Liberty Township. This was a repair of a collapsed tile, and kind of been visually inspecting some tile. The next one is also Henniger Construction for $2,409.50 for DD 96, section 20 of Vernon Township. This was a possible plugged intake or tile. And the last one was also Henniger Construction in the amount of $2,458.87 for DD 41, section 36 of Wall Lake Township. And that was a blowout on an 18-inch tile.
Any questions on those? All right, anything else before the drainage trustees?
No.
Nope. I entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. We are adjourned.